Money is one of the most powerful forces in people's lives, even though we often don't truly understand it. From the time we are young, we hear phrases about it, that it's hard to get, that it causes problems, that it changes people, or that only some people are lucky enough to earn it. However, very few times does someone stop to explain what money really is and how we can relate to it in a healthy and intelligent way. Money, at its core, is a tool. It is neither good nor bad by itself. It is simply a means that allows people to exchange value. When someone works, creates something useful, or provides a service, money appears as a way of recognizing that value. The problem is that many people grow up seeing money as something almost impossible to achieve or as something reserved for only a few. One of the most common mistakes is believing that money only comes through extreme sacrifice. For generations, the idea has been repeated that to make money you have to suffer, work endlessly, and accept anything. But if we observe carefully, we will see that many people who have built wealth did so using intelligence, strategy, and patience more than constant suffering. This does not mean that money comes without effort. Effort is important, but what really makes the difference is the way a person thinks about money. The beliefs we have about it influence our decisions every day: how much we spend, how much we save, what we invest in, and what opportunities we see or let pass by. People who develop a healthy relationship with money usually understand something very important: money grows when it is managed well. It's not enough to simply earn more. In fact, there are many people who earn a lot of money and still live in debt or constant worry. This happens because they never learned how to manage what they have. One of the most important foundations of financial stability is learning to spend with awareness. Every purchase we make is a decision. Sometimes we buy things that truly improve our lives, but other times we buy simply out of impulse, social pressure, or habit. Over time, those small decisions can make a huge difference. Another key idea is understanding that money needs time to grow. In an era where everything seems immediate, many people want to get rich quickly. But the reality is that most solid fortunes are built slowly. Saving, investing, and reinvesting over many years may seem boring at first, but it is one of the most powerful strategies that exist. It is also important to diversify sources of income. Depending on only one way of earning money can be risky. When a person develops multiple income streams, a job, a small business, investments, or projects on the internet, they create a much more stable financial structure. Financial education plays a fundamental role in all of this. Unfortunately, in many places no one teaches us about money in school. We learn mathematics, history, or geography, but we almost never learn how to manage income, how to invest, or how to avoid unnecessary debt. That is why many people reach adulthood having to learn these lessons on their own. Another important aspect is environment. The people we talk to about money greatly influence the way we think about it. If we are constantly surrounded by people who believe money is impossible to obtain or that there is never enough of it, that mindset can become contagious. On the other hand, surrounding ourselves with people who have healthy financial habits can open our minds to new possibilities. Money is also deeply connected to freedom. When a person has financial stability, they can make decisions with greater peace of mind. They can choose more carefully where to work, how to live, and what to do with their time. It is not just about accumulating wealth, but about creating a life with more options. However, it is important to remember that money is not the ultimate goal of life. It can improve many things, but it cannot replace relationships, health, or peace of mind. People who understand this usually have a more balanced relationship with money. They see it as an ally that can help them build the life they want, not as something that defines their value as a person. Developing a strong financial mindset takes time. It involves learning, making mistakes, adjusting strategies, and continuing to move forward. It is not a perfect or immediate process. But every small step counts: saving a little more, learning something new about investing, reducing unnecessary expenses, or starting a project that generates income. In the end, money reflects many of our decisions over time. It is not just a matter of luck or extraordinary talent. Many times, it is the result of consistent habits, patience, and a way of thinking that seeks growth instead of giving up. That is why perhaps one of the most important questions each person can ask themselves is not simply how much money they want to earn, but what kind of relationship they want to have with money. Because when we understand money and learn to use it intelligently, it stops being a constant source of worry and can become a powerful tool for building a more stable, free, and conscious life.